What's going on, everyone? Alliance Orc here, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, we have a lot of news to go over for the War Within expansion and the pre-patch coming. First and foremost, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing, as I do upload tons of World of Warcraft content daily, as well as other games as well. But starting right off the rip here, and a lot of you may already know, a lot of this you may not know, but paid character transfer services on July 23rd will be disabled. Which comes as, like I said, it's been announced for a while, but that is when the pre-expansion patch goes live. Note that account merging, aka moving one World of Warcraft account to another, was already disabled last year. With these changes in place, players will no longer be able to participate in illicit activities such as purchasing extremely rare and prestigious rewards like Corrupted Ashbringer, the Black Kuraji Battle Tank Gladiator mounts in the Reigns of the Black Proto Drake. So just real techie stuff to really worried about, which is something that's been in the game for a while. But moving on to the Warband preview, the Warband stuff. This is the stuff that I feel everyone's looking forward to. Also, I was just thinking about this, because I know we got some mad transmoggers in this gaming community. Just imagine, you have Tyrion Fordring, you have Garrosh Hellscream, there we go. Like the closest representation you can get of Illidan, and Mario from Super Mario World, a gnome priest. Just imagine you have all four of these guys chilling at a campfire together. What stories do you think they tell each other? Anywho, getting the band together. So essentially, Warband's been gone over a lot. Essentially, it's just making a lot of stuff more account-wide accessible. And if you want my opinion on how to get the most out of the Warband feature, I would say have a cloth leather plate and mail user there at all times, because then you will always be able to learn any type of armament that drops outside of like class specific tier pieces. It's very, very helpful. And then, of course, we have the Warband Bank. Now, please keep in mind that the Warband Bank, because I did check this out on beta, the first two tabs start off really cheap, but as you go on, the other tabs will progressively get more and more expensive. So how you utilize the bank tabs, one, depends on how much gold you have, and two, I would highly consider, think about how much space you're actually going to be using. Because if you only need two tabs, then there's no sense in buying all the other ones, Especially with how expensive they're going to be. Like, who has 17 million gold? I don't. But when the Warband feature does go live, essentially there's going to be BOE gear, bind on equip, for like characters that aren't in your warband, and then there's going to be WUE, warbound until equipped, which means you get this piece of gear, you can send it to any of your warband characters until it is equipped. Until it's equipped, you can just pass it around nonstop. But the warband feature, like, it's something I'm highly looking forward to. The Transmog collection, again, just reiterating some stuff that's been public knowledge. When I don't know if this is expansion or pre-patch, but I think it's pre-patch. When this goes live, you'll be able to see like all the class transmogs through the class specific tab. So you'll be able to see Warlock transmogs, Death Knights, just scroll through all of them. But here's the big one. A change made to the transmog option for mog farming is the game will basically prioritize transmog in the sense of, if you want it for your warband, you are going to be put under someone who could transmog it right away. So, like, let's say the imbued Kawashii Crusher. Jesus. Imagine that drops, a warrior wants it for his transmog, but a mage wants it for their paladin in their warband. The game is going to prioritize the warrior over the mage, just because the warrior has immediate use of it, versus the mage is for an alt. And then, of course, there will be items that are account-wide warband reputation, but a lot of these items, as I've seen on the beta, they are a one-time warband bonus. So, like the Council of Doranagle. Jesus Christ, my grammar is fantastic today, guys. That says it's a one-time warband bonus. So you can use it on your character, and the warband will benefit from it. But if you bring like your second warband tune through, this bonus will not be applied. This will I assume this, like, for your warband characters, is just off the table. So they're just, I see they're trying to like balance out how rep is earned, because let's face it, with people like me who have tons of alts, if they didn't apply this, the warband feature would be so freaking broken. And I did think about that too. Now, here's something that hasn't really been covered. With warbands, all achievements are considered warband. A total warband achievement score will be tracked and displayed. So, for example, I have 36,035 achievement points. Hold on, let me move my face so you guys can actually see this. There we go. I have 36,000 achievement points. You know, mild flex, I know. I'm not trying to flex here. I also missed my PvP queue, but that's besides the point. So that is just going to be a change made to better exemplify what warbands do. But many achievement points have become account-wide, approximately 2,000 across the expansion, with very rare exceptions. Specifically, achievements doing the activity on one character is a part of what makes it hard or interesting, such as Insane to Membrane. Since the hard part of this achievement is maxing out diametrically opposed reputations, the reputation for Insane to Membrane will still be character bound. And I assume certain titles like maybe Justicar/Conqueror may follow suit. In addition, achievements that would not benefit from shared progress across characters, such as Memories of Teldrassil, will be left character specific. So you can see what cool things you have done on specific characters. This will not impact your achievement score, rewards, or ability to complete achievements. Essentially, it's just going to be like, hey, you didn't do this on your orc, but you did it on your paladin. Most of the rewards granted by achievements will be warband wide. In many cases, the reward will span across the entire warband, such as for most titles. In other cases, the whole achievement will be converted and its reward will be account wide. For example, dungeon teleports earned by Keystone Hero achievements will become account wide, both in the achievement and the reward. Example here, the Ruby Life Pool teleport. You will be able to do that on all of your characters. The primary exception to warband wide rewards is those in that are in. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word. Jesus, they got the freaking Harvard grads out here. The primary exception to warband wide rewards is those that are intrinsically, I give up. Essentially, Dreaming of Worms, as an example, which is a character unlock, will not be warband wide, as it says. Another exception is the prestigious rewards, like the Gladiator mounts. Gladiator mounts have always been prestigious in Same with the titles. Those will still be character specific. There is no change for that. For most achievements, we are adding your progress across all your characters. So an example of that being personal crafter. Let's say you have fulfilled 100 orders on your monk, but your priest has done 75. Well, they're taking those two, smacking them together. Congratulations, you've now have done 175 personal crafting orders. So again, for altaholics like myself, this is a godsend. And here's a big one. One of the first ever warband toys. For those who may not be interested in re-exploring every map on all of your characters, we are adding the warband map to everywhere all at once toy. So essentially this is like the little map toys you would buy, but for all of your warband characters. One use of this, you open up the entire game essentially. The requirement though, you have to have 2 max level characters and you have to have fully explored the game to get this reward. And then we have the currency being account wide. So to help avoid confusion over spending the wrong currency on the wrong character, the currency is not fully warband wide. Instead, it can be transferred between individual characters in your warband. So instead of relying on buying a unique item and mailing it to your alt, you can directly transfer any shareable currency to other characters to the ones that you are currently playing in the War Within currency UI. So as you see the Dragon Isle supply, they're sending them over. It says there's a little transfer button. So when you click that, you'll get the option to send it from person A to person B, the amount you want to send over, and then it'll basically show you the calculated results that you have left over. And you just see more examples here, like the time warped badges. Oh my gosh. The altaholics are screaming in the background right now. The time warp badges are warband transferable. This is huge, especially since I feel like the Draenor Battle for Azeroth time walking is something we should be expecting at one point in the War Within expansion. This one is big. Moving on to the pre-patch itself. The pre-patch event will begin on July 30th and it will last until the War Within expansion goes live on August 26th. The main hub to go to is Dalaran. This is where like the big focal point. I assume all the vendors are going to be there. The event locations will be in Dragonblight, Dustwallow Marsh, and Searing Gorge, with Residual Memories being the first ever warband transferable currency introduced. During the first week, the event and zones will cycle every hour and a half. Once week 2 hits, it'll be every hour. And then on the 3rd and 4th week, the zones will cycle every 30 minutes. So during the first stage of the event, players will need to defeat the congealed memories that will appear in the zone and the memories around it. When stage 3 hits is when the boss is going to spawn. In Dragonblight, it'll be the Lich King. In Dustwallow Marsh, it'll be Onyxia. In Searing Gorge, our boy Rag is back, and he's all Azerited up. But let's take a look at some of the stuff you can earn from the event. So, players who have purchased... Hold on, we'll get back to that. So, the first item that we gotta talk about is the Lifeless Stone Ring. players who purchase the Lifeless Stone Ring, which only costs 25 residual memories, so it's very cheap to get, will be able to collect memories throughout the 3 zone events, combine it into essences, and infuse it with power, creating the Band of Radiant Echoes, which is the 3rd ever heirloom ring to be introduced. Now, I cannot stress the importance of this enough, because right now there is only, well, there's like 5 rings right now, but 3 of them are unique equipped, so you can only have 1 equipped. With that being said, the only other way you can level a character and have 2 rings is if you win the Booty Bay fishing contest, which only happens on Sunday and is damn near impossible to win for most people. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend for anyone who wants to just like level a character for fun, this ring needs to be at the top of your list. Yes, it's cheap, but this is going to be the only way, unless you have the fishing ring already and the ring from the Draenor garrisons, that your character can have 2 heirloom rings equipped. This one is big. The next item that will be a reward is the Defender's Hefty Satchel for 2,000 residual memories, which is a 32 slot bag. Would I recommend buying this? If you have the excess, honestly. I feel like this is like bottom priority, but it's also probably going to be unique equipped, so therefore you can only have 1 per character. If not, then, you know, kind of juggle your options, but I mean, you're only really getting 8 more slots with this. Next up, for 20,000 residual memories each, we have the Remembered Golden Griffin and the Remembered Windrider. So these 2 mounts, from what I have seen, are the generic Griffin and Windrider model for each faction respectively. Except, if we scroll right up to Rag, they will have this bluish yellow azurite shine to them, which actually going to look kind of cool, not going to lie. The next item we have is 3 pets: the Remembered Spawn, the Remembered Construct, and the Remembered Riverpaw. So I unfortunately do not have any images for these 3 pets, but I can only imagine they're going to be like azurite infused looking battle pets. So, you know, kind of keep that in mind. And then we have the gear items, the defender sets for each class. Each one coming in with being anywhere from 2 to 8,000 residual memories. My advice for you, honestly, I would go for the ring first. The ring's like the big gem here. Get the mounts and pets, then focus on everything else. That's just me, though. You know, you guys do what you want. These defender sets are probably going to drop as a side reward on the side, so you won't have to farm up all of this residual memories all at once. Like, these things will probably drop as like zone-wide drops. Oh my goodness. And then, of course, all of the, like 90% of the older mounts are getting skywriting added to them, which is basically dragon riding, but for all of your mounts, including druid flight form. And some of these mounts, I have played with it a little bit on the beta. Some of these mounts, their flight animations and dragon riding, they look absolutely silly. Silly in a good way, though. And then we have the Season of Discovery Phase 4 global start time for anyone who is playing that. I'm just going to leave this on the screen for you. And yeah, I think that really is about the gist of it. Oh, wait, hold on. This one you might want to know. The Black Market Auction House will return in The War Within, with Madame Goya and Miss Zeolan in the capital city of the expansion. Which is going to be... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, Jesus. But with that being said, we're just going to go ahead, wrap this video up. If you guys did enjoy, do consider subscribing. It helps the channel out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful, fantastic rest of your day.